Alrighty guys, thank you for coming back for a new video. So today we are going to replace this evaporator fan motor for this GE refrigerator. Now, these I do not like doing. It will be a little bit of a common theme around here is that sometimes parts that I install, I do not enjoy installing them. But anyways, the first thing you want to do is remove all 4 1/4-inch screws from that panel to start getting into the back where that fan is. The reason why I don't like doing this one is because I just feel like you have to disassemble everything in the refrigerator just to get to this part. So you see that right now. So you see I'm taking off Phillips screw for the little light cover. After that, you will remove the light bulb, remove the clip to the socket, and then you can either shove it into the back where it doesn't get in your way when you're trying to remove this. When you remove that panel, you could get a pair of needle noses and just pull downwards while you're pulling, and then it'll just come right out. Now, we see that evaporator right there. That motor is right on top of it. Now, you got to unscrew the 2 1/4-inch screws right behind it. It's on the left and the right. Once you do that, you'll be able to lift that up a little bit. Now, in this case, sometimes I would just get to this point and bend that cover upwards as much as I can, and I would be able to reach it. But if I were to do it like that, you guys would not really see how to disassemble everything, and you wouldn't really be seeing what I'm seeing. So I'm going through all this just for you guys, all right? So that cover right there is the auger motor. It'll be a 5/16 screw. It only has one. Just unscrew it, pull to the left, and then disconnect both connectors, the ice maker and the auger motor itself. After that, you're going to have your ice maker left and the rest of that cover in the back. So I believe the ice maker is next, and that one's a Phillips screw. Sorry for some of the angles because my headset is on top of my head, so some images you won't be able to see because I wasn't really paying attention how high it was. But thank God for widescreen, right? So now you see all that has to come out, and that little guy's right there. So 2 1/4-inch screws left and right. But after you do take that off, you are gonna have to take off one of the rails on the left or the right, whichever one you want is fine. Be sure you unclip that receiver for the connector so you can pull the whole thing out. So left 1/4-inch screw, right 1/4-inch screw, and then the rail on the left that I end up taking off, it's 1/4-inch screws as well. So the only thing that I don't like about certain appliances is sometimes they just have like 3 to 4 different pairs of screws, where I'm like, why couldn't y'all just make them all one specific screw? If they're gonna be 1/4-inch screws, make it like that for all around. You got Torx screws, you got Phillips screws, you got Torx screws with the little pin inside of it. Like, Jesus. But anyways, yeah, as soon as you take that off, remove that, and be sure when you put that one back, you put the little airway the way that it should, because if you don't, too much air is going to go in, and then some things are going to start freezing over, or it might not even cool the way that it should on the other side. So right there you see 2 connectors. Disconnect the one on the left, and again, more 1/4-inch screws, right? Yay. Disconnect both, and you'll pull that sucker right out. After you do that, it's really easy sailing. So right now, oh yeah, and that, geez, man, that vacuum. I was trying to redirect it, and I put the panel there so it wouldn't come to me, and trust me, I just had to turn it off when it came back. So right there you see those Torx screws. Just remove the wire harness, the connector. You see that little thing keeps coming back. I'm like, you know what? Forget you. Get away. Now, back to business. So you have your fan motor right there. The brackets, the screws are Torx screws. So just be careful. Now, when you are doing these sort of jobs with plastic and screws, if you are going to use your drill, just try not to go crazy, because you're going to end up breaking where it's supposed to be attached, and then it's not going to be able to hold, and things are going to be wobbly, and it's just not going to be a good time. So there we go. We have the new motor. And FYI, guys, the reason why this motor was ordered is because it was not working anymore. And it was not working anymore because it just basically gave out. And it's affecting the whole refrigerator, because if there's no circulation of any of the cooling, there will be temperature fluctuations in the fresh food side majorly, and in the freezer you'll be able to tell that certain things are not completely frozen. So after you take off that bracket, just be sure you put everything back on the way that it should, and then just start, you know, remounting everything. So this video is 15 minutes long, but I always try to speed up the video so you guys are not stuck just watching this the whole day. So in reality, this job took me about, I think, 25 minutes. Yeah, like about 25 minutes. So I did cut down at least 10 minutes. And sometimes I don't want to speed up the video so fast where you miss what I'm doing. Now, that fan blade, when you remove it, you can push it all the way down, and then that's it, you know. You don't have to kind of guess how far you have to push it down. Just push it all the way down where you feel like it's bumping into something, and you're good to go. Now, we are going to backtrack. So everything's ready. Clip is back on that sensor. It's going to be attached to your evaporator. Now let's work backwards. So we are going to put it in position. Quarter-inch screws left and right. Now, when you are connecting that connector to the motor, be sure you hear the click on both sides of the tabs. You'll see what I'm talking about right now, because what tends to happen, if those things are not clicked into position, friction will happen, and that little connector will end up sliding downwards, and it'll end up disconnecting on its own, and you will have to come back. So right there, you can see me kind of struggling, like, oh man, this thing is not going. But remember, let's work smarter, not harder. So get you a little flat blade and push those little tabs on the side upwards with the pushing motion forward, and you will hear them click. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I have come back to certain calls because even I have done it too quickly, and I thought that I put them in place and I didn't, and it was very frustrating because I had to do this process all over again. So now that's out of the way, let's go back to here. Remember that airway, be sure that it's mounted on correctly. If you're trying to force it into position, I'm talking about the airway only, not the whole bracket. If you're trying to force it into position, then it's not where it's supposed to be. It has these little rivets and openings, or not rivets, but these little edges where they sit into position of that other panel. So like I said, difficult angles, I'm sorry. So right there, what I'm trying to do is get that receiver to get remounted in that hole. But right there, I was just kind of having a brain fart. I could have just done that first with my hand. Now we are going to push it back into position. Now you see those little gaskets on the side, they look like little plastics. Try to leave those on if you can, because it kind of just seals up everything. But if you can't, it's all right, nothing major is gonna happen, but always just try to your best to push it back in. So right there was kind of catching a little bit of a plastic piece, so I had to kind of pry it into position. And then right after that, just, you know, push it back into place. So right there you go. And be sure that you're pushing it into position well, where it's kind of sitting well. There will be a moment where you kind of feel like you're pushing up against it and it's not going into position. Though you'll see those quarter-inch screws that you got to put back in. But anyways, the bracket, well, the plastic piece that holds the fan motor in place, it has to sit well behind that other plastic piece that you just put on right now, where it sits well, and it's not like you're trying to force it into position. You'll know what I'm talking about if you ever get there. It's just like, oh, I'm pushing it, it feels like something's stopping it from going. Just kind of wiggle it and move it a little bit, and then you'll be fine. it'll fall into place. Now, that ice maker, the way that I'm putting it, I'm sliding it in because they have these two little brackets on the side where it's supposed to sit for the ice maker. So you just kind of shove it on the left hand side of the wall and just push, and you'll feel them go into place. And then that's where you put in your Phillips screw. And sometimes you can just let it go and it won't fall. So if you let it go and it falls, then they're not sitting well. But just giving you a heads up. So right after your ice maker is all set up, be sure you put everything back. So right there, I need that bracket in order for me to put that auger motor back into position. So we are right there. Okay, get that 1/4" screw. See, there's just so many screws, brother. So many screws. This is not a good time, but it's all right. It's what pays the bills, and I actually enjoy it. It's just sometimes frustrating, but it's all good. Now, back to the motor. So 5/16 screw. Be sure you, same thing with this one. Connected well. Be sure it's actually connected, because then your ice dispenser won't work. Now, put it back into place. Screw it in. Be sure that that ice maker connector's in there as well. And be sure to turn on that ice maker. Now, right there, you might think that I was just doing too much. I could have just disconnected that light socket and then reconnected it to mount it back on, but I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I have like these brain farts, and instead of working smarter, I end up working harder. But anyways, you'll see me trying to put it into the position that it needs to be. And then after that, really is just smooth sailing. You'll just have your light bulb back in, and that front panel and the light cover, and then you're good to go. Also, another thing, I'm gonna always recommend you guys to disconnect the appliance that you're working on, because I don't want you guys to get shocked. But sometimes some people like me, we know that certain things that shock us are not going to kill us. So sometimes we throw caution to the wind and not worry about it if we get shocked. But always try to disconnect your appliance before you work on it, especially if you're dealing with something electrical, because that first shock, if you've never been shocked before, is going to scare you. So right here, I do have it disconnected. That's why you didn't hear the fan come on right away. So just giving you guys a heads up. So, you know, light bulb back in. Light cover will go back on with the little Phillips screw on top, and then we'll be good to go. So right there, I think I'm about to connect it so we can be good to go. Man, I hate when they get stuck under the fridge. It's frustrating sometimes, but it's all right. So here we go. And you should hear that fan come on. Light come back on. You feel that wind. You feel that air pushing. So everything will be a-okay for the rest of the day. So that thing will start to cool and get to temperature just in a day's worth of time. It'll probably be sooner than that, but we just kind of let the customers know to not start stacking up your food so soon, so we give them that 24-hour window. Just wait a little bit, you know. So now front panel back in. Be sure that front panel is behind the little drain pan, and if you have to pry it back in, which most of the times we do, but just be sure that you do it well. Same thing. 4 1/4" screws. They're right in front of you, big guy. There you go. There you go. Right there, big guy. Yeah, so these jobs are pretty easy, especially if you know what you're doing. But remember, these videos are just to help you. I am just here just to help you. I'm not saying I know it all, but I've done this for a good while, and I kind of know what I'm doing. And I'm here to save you guys the big bucks, because appliance repair without a home warranty or insurance on your appliance costs a pretty penny. Remember, take pictures, take pictures, take pictures, take your time, take your time. Now, if you're a new technician out here trying to get, you know, the best that you can, take your time. Be sure that you put everything back the way that it was, so you can, complete the job well. You can get paid, customers happy, everyone's happy. if you're new, like I said again, take your time, take pictures, do things well where everybody's happy all around. Your employer's happy, you're happy, customers happy, even the appliance, if they could talk, they would be happy. So, like I said, these videos are just to help you guys out, really. And I do enjoy doing these videos and providing some assistance, because when I started, like I said, I couldn't find certain videos. So, you know, if I'm just trying to lend out a helping hand. But anyways, I just want to say again, I appreciate you guys for even watching, tuning in every week. And I try my best to get these out Monday and Tuesday. But always, thank you. Stay tuned for the next one. But always, I will always be grateful for any sort of small viewership that you guys give me. But until the next video, peace.